I might need my fish grips, Alex. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, ho, ho, ho. I don't need them. Look at that. We're just going to flip this up here into the deck. Let's go take a look at it, guys. Another channel cat, this time a beefier one. I've kept the first one, and we are keeping this one as well. I did not keep the one I caught on the sabiki though.
Right, that was still a little,
I'm gonna need the fish grips, bro.
Sorry?
Fish grips.
Gotcha.
Maybe not. He was fighting like I'm gonna need them. I think so. I think this is definitely the biggest fish coming out of this spot tonight. I hear them.
Here.
It's a nice blue. Jeez. We're just gonna show this one off real quick, guys, because it's the first big fish coming out of here for us. But we're not gonna bother weighing this fish because he's not even gonna be 20 pounds. He's probably in between 12, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Not a very big fish. Can you see him good?
Oh yeah.
Nice. We've seen bigger, and we're gonna stay, see if we can get a bigger one. But yeah, I am not. Jeez, come on, calm down. Do you know where you're going? You're going where you came from. I am not keeping this size. We're only keeping small ones to eat later. I actually brain farted on this bait cooler the other day. 2 different fonts. I thought that was a C, but it's a G. This is from Florida, established in 1998, Jupiter, Florida, apparently. Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. One of these days you won't be able to tell the difference between me and those garden gnomes over there. However, I won't be that short. This is going to be a Sunday fry up on a Monday. A Monday for you, but technically it's a Saturday for me. However, here really soon, it will not be Saturday. It is late Saturday night. There we go. Cut the top off the pineapple. I know this is confusing. Well, it's going to be, trust me, because this pineapple has very little to do with the catch and cook. We just need to cut this up real quick before, because yeah, I bought this maybe 3 days ago and it was really green still, so I had to let it ripen up on the counter in here. I want to use this cutting board and I just like don't want to have to bleach this, then use it for the pineapple and then clean it all over again. So yeah, I'm kind of on island time, even though I don't live on an island. Pineapple fits right in there with it. I just didn't feel like getting pineapple in the can to cover my craving. I've been craving pineapple lately. It's cheaper to just buy a whole pineapple than to get those little containers of it already cut up. I might have this on the side with our dish tonight. However, what we're going to do is we're going to see if we need to get any more off this core. Put these in a Ziploc bag and get them chilled in the refrigerator, because let me tell you, it's more enjoyable to nibble on a little bit of cold pineapple than it is hot pineapple, because it is just absolutely warm in here. It was absolutely hot, like steaming hot in here earlier. That's why it's more comfortable to prepare or do a lot of cooking late at night. I've kept my fish on ice since I got home. Well, ever since I put them in here, actually, but I added ice. Did not keep a lot of fish in the end. Of course, Alex kept more than me. I kept what I needed. Let's have this one for dinner. Easier to deal with if you wash it off good and then pat it dry on something that's fairly clean. Paper towel is usually what people do. We're just about out of that. Plus, it's a bit of a waste if you have a clean kitchen towel. It's not going to hurt anything, even if it's a little less than clean. However, I mean, it's best to go with a clean towel. One you don't worry about too much, plus that is a good thing. So the reason for drying this a bit is so it doesn't slip around a lot. Right there, about right in there, is where that head plate ends. And you got this spine right there. Well, the spine is underneath that, and this is a bone that comes back to that fin that we want to ride, and we're going to come around that fin. And the tip of that knife is plunging down and hitting the rib cage, and we're using that as a bit of a guide. But as soon as we get about right here, that rib cage is going to end, and we got to make sure that we're on this side, the correct side of the spine as we make that plunge. Right, I'm going to turn that fish over. Sometimes it don't get it right off. You'll move this back, open it up, and go, oh, but this time I got it good. Look, nice and tight. I don't have anything left there except for maybe this right here. There's like a real paper thin piece that I could cut off if I wanted to. Just kind of let that blade kind of ride back a little bit on that rib cage so we can open this up a little bit more. This is a nice healthy piece of fillet here. I think this is a female because I see eggs. I see a bit of eggs in the sack there. Now we are going to about right there cut in. Now we can come down. You see, cutting in up there like that allows you to pull it back a little more and ride down that rib cage just a little more to where you're about here, and you can cut. This is pretty much the top of that fillet, and cut through that skin. And there we go. Take that fillet right off, just like that. There we go. This is my second fillet. There's the first. So on the second one, I have the fin, the bottom fin right there. You see it? Now, to make it easier when I cut this off the skin. I'm going to remove this. Right here, my fingers are running along a line of bones. And I want to get my blade up against there, but kind of perched underneath the bones and laying it almost flat. Or cut right underneath those bones. Bring my finger back along there, rubbing. Make sure I got all the bones. I may have missed one right there. Take the tip and get it underneath it. There it is. Got it between my fingers right there. Put that in the garbage. Now, instead of putting this blade against the counter, I just plunge through the skin there, hold it up, cut this off. Now I'm ready to take the fillets off the skin. This is the tail. I've got my 2 fingers on the back of the tail. Don't necessarily want the meat all the way to the end of the tail, so sacrificing a little bit back there is not that big of a deal. It's skinny back there. I probably should have resharpened this knife because it's not going through here super smooth, but we can lay in that blade flat, almost touching the counter. Gotta keep the blade, the sharp bit of the blade, away from the counter. I may have left a bit, but it's not that big of a deal. Not a lot left on there, but what is left on there, if we got it, well, let's see if we can get some of it. It's gonna have that dark stuff that you might not want. Second one, got it a little tighter to the skin, a little bit of dark stuff right there, a bit of this yellow stuff with a little strip of skin left off. It's fine because I'm going to trim a bit of that yellow stuff off anyway. These are looking good, but they need to be rinsed a bit. Got like this one paper towel left. We're going to use it the best we can. Kind of pat some of this extra moisture off it as much as possible, right? This is from when I rinsed it just a second ago. Cut this into smaller pieces, about 1 inch square. I mean, close to, I mean, it's rectangle pieces. Got little nuggets. This is Old Bay. Someone asked me if I ever use this. I don't remember ever, years ago, ever, never. So I got it because they asked. And I have tasted it. I like it. This is like the Chesapeake Bay version of our crab boil, or maybe like our sashery somewhat. It's not the same as sashery, but pretty much. So we are making a beer batter for this. I have one beer that's been sitting in the refrigerator forever. I don't drink anymore. It's been sitting in there since before Christmas. Sometimes I like to add spice to my beer batter, but it does take a lot of spice to affect the beer batter. This time we're going to do a good dusting on this fish on both sides of this stuff. This has a lot of salt in it. Paprika, salt, celery salt, and some other things. So you might think that I'm making it too salty, but we're hoping that the beer batter is going to even it out. And to ensure that this fish is flavored by this seasoning, we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. That'll give it a good chance for that seasoning, you know, all the spices and the salts to soak in. Let's do a nice generous coating on this side. I didn't want this sopping wet because, yeah, it just didn't. So this should still work. You can't always do this, right? Rub it in. Ensure that it's tenderizing that meat and it's getting in there, that flavor's getting in there. But letting it soak definitely will be a good thing for that. Infusing these flavors together. Let's do a little more on that. Hopefully it's not overkill with the salts. Oh, where can we put it in here? To make some space. Okay, this is the beer we're using. Beer batters are super simple to make. Now we're gonna play catch up. That's to say, we've got some flour in here, right? It's a little over a cup now. Off camera, I did add a little more. Pour your beer in, you mix. Ingredients that you need for beer batter: flour, beer. We don't want it too thin, we don't want it too thick, so we're gonna sneak up on it. Where's this gold flakes coming from? You just want it thick enough so it sticks to the fish. You don't want it like soup, and you don't want it like joint compound. I was a little worried that maybe I put too much flour in and therefore I don't have enough beer. I'm not running out to buy beer. Cannot forget what I got going on here. Just some tater tots. Almost 30 minutes in the refrigerator. I would say we're good to go. This is looking good too. This is super easy to do, but also messy at the same time. I'll keep one hand clean here to hold the bowl. Just get it nice and coated. It's going to be drippy. Boom, it goes in. Don't have a good assembly line going here. It's kind of awkward at the moment, but you just make do with it. Hurry up, keep it moving along. Shift this bowl around to where you're not dripping this batter all over the place. I might have my oil actually too hot. Can you see around these edges it's going a dark brown? Oh, that's not too bad, not yet. We could always just drop this back. It was at a 7. This is an electric. So we dropped it down to 6. It's probably fine. These things always heat up uneven. So there'll be a portion of this pan where it's hotter than the other portion. You just kind of got to be mindful of that and move stuff around so things cook a little even. And plus some of these went in, you know, they didn't all go in at once. So just watch. Something's going to be done before something else, right? Also got to be mindful of other things going on. Keep your ears open because this one's sneaking up. Don't want to step on her. Get out of the kitchen. Golden brown is the color we want. Even if things aren't quite all the way in the very middle of this piece of fish, remember, super hot on the outside, super hot oil. It's not going to stop cooking the second you put it in that plate. It's still working. You're just kind of stopping the extreme process, because if you just left it in here to where you really thought it was ready, it's going to be dang near burnt on the outside. So remember, food doesn't stop cooking when you take it out of the pan. If it's super hot, it's still cooking. Let's check this out. Not too salty at all. First bite anyway. Nice and crispy. Yeah. Perfect. Hey, thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I'll see you next time.